And that was the first time, so I'm talking in a pan-European spirit at this moment. That was the first time that experts in language technology from Central Eastern Europe met their Western colleagues. So if you remember that there were names like John Sinclair and Antonio Zampoli or Maurice Gross from the Western side, or Petar Zgal, Eva Hajčová, Ferenc Kiefer, and Janusz Bien on the Eastern side, or Central Eastern European, then this was really a historical moment. And this is actually, this provided what we have today here now. And I can see a few people from this conference in this room. Nicoleta was there, Eva Hajčová, Gabor Prosek, and so some of us still are here working. Okay, so this covers more or less the Croatian situation. So the situation in Serbia is, if you look at Serbian research institutions, the University of Belgrade, with several of its faculties, is actually a key player in Serbia. Particularly the group at the Faculty of Mathematics, and they have been working in this area since the 70s, I would say. But also, Institute Mihailo Pupin is notable for his software tools, and this is exactly what we are using in CESAR Project. They are really good programmers. At the University of Novi Sad, there's a Faculty of Philosophy devoted very much to lexicography, but also there's a very strong group in speech processing at the Faculty of Technical Sciences. And of course, you cannot avoid Serbian Academy of Sciences and Arts, which covers lexicography and multimedia content with two of its member institutions. So about Serbian resources and tools. If we look at the resources that do exist for Serbian, there's a corpus of contemporary Serbian. There's a number of aligned corpora, either Serbian English, Serbian French, or even multiple translations of same novel, Verne's novel, in different Serbian diachronically separated translations. And of course, there is a morphological dictionary, several of them, some of simple word forms and multi-word units, as well as proper names. Serbian WordNet took part in BalkanNet project, so the Serbian WordNet is one of the nicely elaborated, I would say, in this area. And there's a very large multilingual database of proper names. Regarding tools, there is a Serbian module for Unitex as well as Nuge. So these are very similar systems. But, of course, we should say that for Serbian there is a lemmatizer, MSD tagger, and all of them are Maltext East compliant. There is also a lexicographical workstation developed for different, coping with different resources in the same time, as well as a web version of similar workstation. And Alphanum is actually a company, SME company, that is producing text-to-speech system and automatic speech recognition systems, and this is the offspring of the University of Novi Sad. So this is exactly what I was talking about. So this company is a really strong player in the speech in this area, and they're not only producing speech tools for Serbian, but they're also covering other South Slavic languages like Macedonian, like Croatian, like Bosnian, and similar. So, of course, there's a whole number of other applications for small market, and different tools that have been listed earlier and resources are here also distributed to different tasks, as you see. And this more or less, I think, covers our Serbian presentation. Oh no, there's another nice case. So this is the GIS picture of a retrieval. So this is a map with the textual description for different type of ore. And if you use language resources that, and language tools that enable you to search morphologically sensitive, to issue a morphologically sensitive query. That means that you are covering all the inflectional word forms, or you cover also with synonyms, so including WordNet. Then the results is quite different. So this is search only by literal string. And this is the result of a search on GIS system that is textually supported by using language tools. So you see the difference in the result. It's the same thing as you would fire the query in Google, and you would get completely different numbers if you take care about the morphology. The third country that I would like to show at the end is Slovakia. And in Slovakia, the key player is the Ľudovít Štúr Institute of Linguistics, which is a part of Slovak Academy of Sciences. And then the most notable project is Slovak National Corpus, as well as Slovak Spoken Corpus, and there's a number of parallel corpora. And of course, this level of morphology and so tagging and lemmatizing is covered, as well as Slovak Tree Bank and Slovak WordNet. So as you see, if we look at the block table, we have more or less similar cells covered in all those languages. But projects in which this institution took part are on the national level or European level. But of course, there's an Institute of Informatics as well, and they produced the ONTEA tool for information extraction and domain-independent metadata generation. So they are extracting information from the freely flowing text. And this is also one tool that covers the Slovak as a Slavic language and, of course, as a morphologically rich one. And there's a whole list of different institutions that are covering speech analysis and speech synthesis or speech processing for Slovak. And not just as a part of Academy of Sciences, but also different universities and technical universities that did produce different packages, different software libraries that help us work with sound. And let me just quickly list a few companies in Slovakia that are using different language resources and language tools. And I will now conclude with the last slide. I'd like to say something about Nuge. The Nuge is actually a very nice development environment, which is freely downloadable at this address. And we think that the Nuge will play a significant role in rising the popularity of language technology. Why? Because it's based on widened concepts of local grammars, so it's a direct tradition from Maurice Gross and his former assistant Max Silberstein, who produced the whole system. And it's extremely easy to implement and use. Students adore it. It's the development environment in which you draw formal grammars. You draw them. You have a graphical interface, you draw grammars. And then the system generates the finite state transducer out of these grammars, immediately apply them to a corpus, and you see the results. And this is what young people want to see right now. I want to see how my system works. And then when you see that the strings that are covered by a formal grammar are not the ones that you expected, then you go back, redraw the grammar, rerun it again, and it's lightning fast. So the whole thing, what we are trying to do within the CESAR project, we already have all the resources for Nuge for 5 CESAR languages done in a rudimentary way. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to enhance them. But we also selected CESAR as a showcase in which we would like to expose how the multilingual and multi-level processing tools can be developed and applied to all languages. Nuge is language independent. There's a huge Arabic community working with Nuge. 10 days ago, we had a Nuge conference, which runs every year in Dubrovnik, in Croatia. And we had invited speaker Shuli Wintner from Israel, and he wants to apply Nuge to Hebrew as well. And of course, what CESAR tries to do, CESAR is trying to make Nuge an open source software available for all types of platforms. And this is what is clearly stated in our description of work. Okay, so these are the aims that CESAR is trying to do. And I've been warned that I have to stop now. Thank you very much for your attention.